Greetings and welcome back to another Let's Play with Weird Wizard, playing the Banner Saga. And we left off at a cliffhanger in the last episode, and we were trying to decide whether we were going to join up with Ekil in Frostvella, which apparently has turned into a bloody mess inside the city walls, with various factions all fighting with each other. It does seem to be quite a fortified city, so I mean this could be the best place for us to make a stand against the Dredge. On the other hand, I'm somewhat inclined to just leave them to it, as Alette doesn't want to have to kill humans, or Varl presumably, and preferably neither would I. I think what we're going to do, we're going to fend for ourselves inside Frostvella. I don't know, I don't trust Ekil. He's got a dodgy sounding voice which I have given to him. I think we're going to see what happens inside Frostvella first, see if we can find out what's going on, and potentially leave if it seems to be too much of a mess to sort out. That's my plan. And that's what we're going to do. You can feel Ekil sizing you up on the spot, his hands hovering near his axe. He snorts through his nose, changing his mind. Good luck then. Hope we don't meet again fighting for the same scraps. Okay. With the gates closed, Ekil and his men disappear down dark alleys. Hope we know what we're doing. Making it up as we go, Ivor. Chapter 3. Little did they sleep. Sorry, Chapter 3. Little did they sleep. And I think we've got a change of protagonist again going on here. We're moving back across the world. Potentially back to our original, yes, to Hakon. Hakon, we're back. I was able to get about as many warriors from Strand as you wanted, and more weapons, extra supplies too. You perk up, just now realizing Moga has been talking to you. Since Vognir died, everyone has been looking to you to make the decisions. It's exhausting. Hakon. I heard you. What were you saying? Sorry, just tired. Go on. I heard you. I was saying the Varl we sent to Strand have returned. The governor gave us most of what we wanted. Good enough. Much resistance from the governor? Some. I don't think he was happy about us buying his fighters using his own money. He also insisted we take on a lackey of his to watch over his property. A man named Eric. Eric. I met him. He seemed competent enough. Regardless, the governor will have to get over it unless he wants Dredge crawling through his street. We've put down every slag that has wandered through here while you were gone. Enough flapping of mouths, then. You're sure that wound has healed, Ludin? I agree. Enough has already gone wrong. If something happened to the Prince on a mission of peace, the Alliance would rot. Or worse. You're right. Ludin, return to Strand, go home. Ludin makes his own decisions. Vognir is dead. There's no reason to stay. You're right, Ludin. You're right, Ludin. Return to Strand, go home. Why? Aren't you the fabled Dredge killers? How did you let them get this far south? We're not watchmen for the world. What's your tone? If they're here, then something has gone wrong at Shield. And you shouldn't be here. We would only be made to do this again later, and I will not suffer it all a second time. Either take us through the wandering road, or do your job and slaughter some Dredge. Ludin turns abruptly with a scowl. He stamps back to his ring of tents and followers. Wandering roads, not an option with this many. I could crush that boy's skull with one hand. If Luden won't be deterred, you'll have to deal with it. Don't let Luden get to you. Let's go. I'm sick of looking at this dump. What do I tell the warriors, Hakon? Tell them to be cautious. No more losses. Tell them we cover the mountainside in Dredge bodies. Tell them we don't stop until Shield is retaken. We cover the mountainside in Dredge bodies. Vognir will be avenged. Good. Give the word and we'll set off. Well, so we're back to our Varl. The heir to the Varl kingdom is dead, and all is not well here in the village. Let's check on our heroes to see who we have at our disposal. And talk to Hakon. Hakon! Oh no, we are Hakon, I think, in this. I think he is the protagonist now. I'd ask how you're dealing with Vognir's death, but I already know the answer. Do you? Steady, old Moga, which is good. I know most of these Varl, but they're not under my command. They came to follow Vognir. Tell you the truth, I wouldn't want to be in your position either. What do you ask? Anything you can tell me about the caravan? Haven't you ever wanted to be in command? Do you think we're walking into a death trap? Let's get back to it. Anything you can tell me about the caravan, Moga? You are the quartermaster, I believe. Throw together this many Varl. Half of them want to hit each other, the rest want to be left alone. Anyone I should keep an eye on? There's a couple of clan leaders trying to show off to each other. Not a big deal. I've got it under control. The fighters we just got from Strand aren't bad, but they're unruly. Give it a few days. And there are a few moaning about fighting for you instead of Vognir. Those are the ones to worry about. What about Luden's men? They don't want to hear anything from me. I know that. Any problems? Could be. Luden's pet Varl is named Bercy. I'm not sure where he came from or what his deal is. Bastard knows how to fight, but there's something I don't like about him. His girl in red is scary too, Ursa. She's probably the best fighter Luden's got, to be honest. I've overheard some of the Varl call her the witch. Why? The flaming arrows, I think. It's a good trick, but the fire upsets our Varl more than the dredge. Still doesn't make much sense. Which? They're not scholars, Hakon. I think they're mostly just afraid of her. That makes more sense. Don't let her find out. Let's get back to it. Let me know if you need anything else. I will. Okay, and let's go and look at our heroes, which is what I was originally planning on doing there. So, we've got Eric. You can come into the warband. We don't have any equipment, I guess that... Oh, here we go, Morgan can be promoted. Let's totally do that. Continue. Confirm. And he is a shield master. So let's give him a bit more shield to make him even more of a masterful shielder. And an extra point of strength, go on. Might as well make him another heavy hitter. Gunnulf, Warhawk. Can't upgrade him. Eric, we can. Erik. I think I'm just going to call him Eric, to be honest with you, because it's easier to say. Promotion. Promote. Confirm. I quite like Eric, actually. I'll try and remember how I voiced him in case he starts talking. And what should we give him? He's a warden. He's got an axe. I don't think he's a ranged guy. But maybe we'll specialise him a little bit as a shield breaker. There we go. Confirm. Oh, let's see what the text has to say about him. Eric is the guy who gets stuff done for the governor of Strand. Though for a man with a heavy responsibility, he seems to have an awful lot of freedom in his methods. Plenty of warring clans within Strand have tried to take him down. None have succeeded. Eventually, he earned himself the nickname the Iron Turtle. Oh, I like that. The Iron Turtle. 4 kills. Nice. Right. That's enough of that. Let's get this show on the road. Let's talk to Udin. You knew him well, didn't you? Vognir? No. Well, I don't know. I remember him. Always rushing around with some important business. But I never knew him. I never got the chance to talk much. Longer than I did, in any case. I suppose so. When he spoke, Varl listened. I knew that. I could use help there. The scrivener leans back, considering the sentiment. I've seen worse. They respect you for your ability to swing an axe, and they need to respect you for your actions. But you're not talking to the right Varl. Morga's got some skill there. Most I can do is hold a quill. She actually is holding a quill. What are you always putting down in that journal? I heard you were a terror in your days. What do you suppose happened to the sun? What are you always putting down in that journal? How do you mean? What do I write? I write what happens. They've got a banner in Arambag for that, you know. You mean the long banner? Yes. The Menders wove up something that writes its own history. You want my opinion? I don't trust it. No? It tells a broad story. I think there's some value in the narrow. Whose story does it write? Mine? Theirs? Ludin's? Gods forbid. Ha! You relic. The gods have been dead a long time. Oh, have they? Old habits, I suppose. You consider what to say next. I heard you were a terror in your days. Do you know how old I am? You look pretty old. Dare I ask? I'm competing, you know. Nobody knows how old Varl can get, naturally. There's one by the name of Snorri. He's got a few years on me. Just hunkers in Grofheim collecting rhyme. Bastard might actually beat me. Another one named Krumar is close, I think. But the adult son of a bitch still welcomes a fight. He'll probably be off before I am, although... The scrivener gestures around him as if to remind you of the current situation. You chuckle. Anyway, point is, what difference does it make? I'm just a delivery bairn for Joranda now. Can't remember half of what I've done. Hence the journal. Hence. Don't fancy on my behalf, Hakon. Okay, I won't. What do you suppose happened to the sun? Gods, how should I know? Never seen something like this before. Are you worried? Some of the Varl in the caravan think the world's coming to an end. Others think it's the best thing that could happen. No more black months. I'll take it. If it's the end, I'm ready. What about the rest of us? To the depths with you. Ha! Get some rest. Always more marching to do. I've hoofed more hills than a horse born with a grudge. Don't you worry about me. Well, indeed. Well, there's lots of exposition. We've been at this for quite a while, so let's just take a little look at the map and see what lies ahead for us. It's not been a very action-orientated episode, but there has been a lot of chat and discussion and catching up with the story of Hakon and his team. Let's have a look at Vedrafell. Named Bad Weather. The gates that blow in from the bay around the mountain peaks keep Varl in a generally unpleasant state. What really cemented the name was the kind of person who would live there. Men cast out from Strand for one reason or another, with nowhere else to go. So where are we going exactly? Up the Wanderers Road? I believe that's what we've been talking about. At the end of the First Great War, the Varl had more to contend with than mankind to the south. Above the Bratterbeck peaks, the lands crawled with furious, war-minded Dredge. The first Varl king, Einiar, led the entire Varl race across the snowy fields of the Wandering Road, sweeping away Dredge as they went, before forming the first Varl kingdom at Enartoft. That sounds a bit like what we're probably going to do. Enartoft, the home of the Varl king Einar, who carved his empire into the crook of the Bretterbeck and Wormscale mountains. The Varl fortress, hewn into the rock itself, eclipses all but the greater accomplishments in the north. Well, that sounds like a good place to be, but a long and lonely road to get there. The Bretterbeck peaks to the north. When the first Varl warriors trudged north to discover new lands, the Bretterbeck peaks were thought to be the edge of the world. Their summits often disappear into clouds, and unlike other mountain ranges, a pass through was never found. That is, until the Varl king Einar had the Burra Pass built, a bridge that takes 3 days to cross. That's a hell of a bridge. The Burra Pass. At Iantoft, the first Varl king found himself unable to push further into the north, cut off by a vast gorge at the crook of the Wormscale Mountains. He had built a bridge of such massive construction that it takes days, nearly 3 days, to cross. Let's start that again. He had built a bridge of such massive construction that it takes nearly 3 days to cross on foot. As the legend goes, the Varl only managed to build it by filling the gorge with the bodies of Dredge and working atop them. Wow. That would take a lot of Dredge, which doesn't bode well for our current predicament if such numbers are possible. And finally, let's have a look at Hraun, our current region. The long snowfields, tall mountains and sparse woods of Hraun used to be the gathering place of Dredge during the Second Great War. As Varl pushed them ever northward, they took the land and settled it themselves, preferring the cold expanses over the warm, busier lands of men to the south. Now the territory is almost entirely Varl. Well, there we go. That's a lot of exposition. We are going to have to lead this motley band. And I'm not looking forward to babysitting Ludin, the bratish king, or heir to the king of men. We've got plenty of supplies though. Look, we've got great morale. We've got a reasonable amount of renown in the bank. So, I think next time we will commence our journey up the Wanderer's Path. But until then, I have been Weird Wizard. Thanks again for watching. Please remember to like and subscribe if you're enjoying the series, and I will see you next time.